see. Now, Steph Alvaro Carreton, he's the experienced driver, 53 starts in F1 sim racing.
Yeah, very experienced. And another driver, Williams, Marcel Kiefer, not mentioned there, but combined, these guys actually have the most amount of starts of all our teams here.
Ooh, they're wearing that badge with honor. Let's welcome them out, the team in red. Scuderia Ferrari Esports team.
Right, I think we are ready to go.
Last year for Nicholas
Sorry
Londe,
about that, my
13 points in total in his
PC
F1
has
career.
been
Is this the year for Nicholas Londe?
nothing short of a nightmare, so yeah, hopefully it's all good now.
They're going to have to see if they can deliver under the lights.
And they had the least amount to walk. And so does the next team.
Okay, I think that's good. God, PCs are such a nightmare for me, man. Alright, let's tweet this out.
A combined amount of points, 1,053 points between those two, and I'd say they're probably the two tallest drivers on the grid, Steph.
I definitely think they are extremely tall. Don't let me stand next to them. Another very experienced lineup here. Previously paired together at Alfa Romeo and now at Mercedes AMG.
And now let's add the lookalike, Hayden Gullis and Danny Berezny in the same place at the same time.
Yes, indeed. I'm joined by another champion, Jarno Wopmir. Jarno, you had such a strong season in 2020 and 2021. 22 didn't go the way you would have liked it, but we've got new physics on this game. What's different about it, and how's that going to help you?
Yeah, this year I think the race is very, very different. Last year I think if you started in the mid-pack it was very hard to get to the front.
Right, there we go.
This year it seems to be a little bit easier. We've seen a league racing.
Right, I think we're up and running. Thank God for that. That was a nightmare. But hopefully my PC doesn't crash. If it does, I will try and restart it straight away. But yeah, that is definitely the next thing on the Christmas list.
But yeah, I'm very excited. So.
You're starting the race in P10. As you say, in league races before, you've been able to build yourself up through the grid and get into those solid positions. Can you work your way from 10th today to fight for
there we go.
Yeah, due to grid penalties, I've moved up to P8, so that's definitely going to help. I think the furthest away someone has won Bahrain is P5. It is going to be difficult. It's not an easy track to overtake in F1 Esports, simply because of the DRS trains. We're running on the hardest compound, so we're not going to have a lot of tire delta, but we're going to have to wait and see.
Good, Danny is so tall.
Last year there was a lot of carnage. Might be again the same this year. So.
Well, wishing you the best of luck. Maybe even a little giveaway of strategy there. Back to you, Tom.
Oh, we love that when there's a few giveaways. Thank you very much, Hayden. Right, we move on. Let's welcome out the next team, Alpine Esports team, made up of the Spanish driver, Ruben Pedreño, and the Hungarian driver, Patrick Schipos. So, Matt, a rookie who is currently up there in P6. Fantastic start to the season.
Yeah, and a lot of talk about Alfie Butcher, but Pedreño needs to be spoken about as well. A great position to score some points in round one, which is so important to settle the nerves.
A former team that have won the Drivers' Constructors' Championship, the Team Constructors' Championship. It's Oracle Red Bull Sim Racing Team!
2-hour break wasn't really much of a break. Literally just reset my PC completely, so yeah, pretty much had no break.
Steph,
but
you have got there
we will persist, but looking forward to this.
What do you like about this team?
Well,
Alfie Butcher still can't believe his performance. It was absolutely insane.
In the championship, Josido also promoted from AlphaTauri, a strong pairing.
Scuderia, AlphaTauri, all on esports are your next team. And here they come. A complete driver rookie lineup tonight. Jed Norgrove and Tom Manley. Both pro
My mic is
exhibition
still
finalists. Now is the opportunity to show what they can do in F1's esports. Matt, Tom Manley missing out on Q3. However, Jed Norgrove managed to get there.
Right.
Exactly. Again, the rookies.
Let me know if that's.
And we might well see a change.
Let me know if that's a bit better. Should be a bit better.
But yeah, impressive performances from the pair of them.
And Yoni Tormala, an OG in the sim racing game, is on the bench on the side, helping them through. Let's welcome out the last team and the current reigning champion. It's McLaren Shadow. It's Lucas Blakely and Wilson Hughes. And I'm sure if they could fly the Scottish flag, these two Scots would be doing it, Steph.
The Scots are taking over in Papaya Orange, I'll tell you that. We've got a master there in Lucas Blakely and a student there in Wilson Hughes. Let's see what they can do.
Out of all the merch that you've seen walk past, what would you say, Matt? What's the best merch? Who's got the best merch
Oh,
this year?
come on. You can't put me on the spot. Now 9 teams are going to hate me.
No.
McLaren Shadow.
No, I don't think anyone knows the schedule for us of esports at the moment. So,
there you have it. All
yeah,
to do for
all I
Wilson
know
Group,
is that
but
yeah, we're
such
meant to
a
have
tough,
Bahrain and Silverstone, but
brilliant bunch of guys.
yeah,
Lucas Blakely has got
hasn't really
Hayden
panned
Gillis
out that way,
next
has
to
it?
him.
But
Good luck.
The reigning world champion, Lucas Blakely, you've got the biggest target on your back today. How does that feel?
I mean, it can't be a bad thing. I mean, at the end of the day, you're here to go racing. Can't wait to get going. New season, new opportunities, and yeah, it's going to be exciting. I think we're in for it's going to be a good race. I have a feeling.
We've got a long season ahead of us still, but can you do it? Can you make it too?
That's the plan. That's it. That's why we practice. That's why we put in the work. That's what we're aiming for, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna put everything into.
He's feeling good, Tom. Let's get into some racing.
Thank you very much, Hayden.
I'm sure he's going to win this race. If Alfie Butcher wins, that'll be insane.
And to do that, we have recorded this. Now, we asked
Audio
all
is
of the
good?
drivers
Okay,
to
cool.
get us into their world, see what it's like, their routine and their daily lives. So we got them to get their
I have a
phones
feeling it's
and
going to be a
make
little
this
while
filming.
until
And
we
here's the
still
thing, right? We've
see
just
some
heard from
racing.
Lucas
But
Blakely, but let's see
they're probably
what
going to
happens
do
behind the
the
scenes.
this production thing for quite a while first. But
Lucas Blakely, take a bow, your champion of 2022 for the first time ever.
I used to do go-karting from 2010 to 2015. Like thousands of many other people wanted to become a Formula 1 driver. I did that for as long as I could, and my
There we
family
go.
supported me massively. Until 2015, where I had to stop, as it was just it's an incredibly expensive sport, as everyone knows. Once F1 Esports came along in 2017 for the first time, that was sort of the realization moment where I thought maybe I can do racing, but just in a way that was a little bit different.
yeah, I wish they just kind of got into the racing straight away. That would be
So
pretty
in
nice.
2018, I qualified for the Pro Draft in F1 Esports for the first time. Didn't get picked that year, but then dedicated everything for the next 12 months, basically, and then became an F1 Esports driver in 2019, and that's what I've been ever since.
What an absolutely incredible season.
Yeah, but let me know who you think is going to win. Yeah, I think the grid is Alfie Butcher third or second? I think it might actually be second. Then Danny Brosnan is third. But hopefully they show a little bit of results from the qualifying.
Here,
That'd
if
be
that makes
nice.
sense. This is really where I spend most of my time. A lot of work goes in behind the scenes that people don't always see, so it's something that you need to put a lot of time into. We have unlimited practice, which means you need to be so perfect.
We're on board with Lucas Blakely, who's got to be careful here.
So that's why, on a daily basis, you'll find me sitting right there pretty much the whole time. Where are you going? So my family have been a massive influence.
Yeah, Ronha, I think we know he has the pace,
Even once I
but
switched from karting to sim racing, they've
we'll
always
see if he can do it in the
supported me and
race.
always tried
But I
to
don't know
give
if
me
it's a
the best.
35% or
Mum, Dad,
50%.
Zach, I
So
love you. I know you're watching.
hopefully,
This is our championship.
So
hopefully
without
they
them,
can
I
tell
would
us
not
the
be
race
where I am
distance
at all
soon.
today.
Because last year it was 35%. Yeah, because normally they're doing 25% races, so I
To
imagine
retain
it
the
might
title
still
this
be
year will take,
35% for
just
this,
as
but
much effort
we'll have
and
to find out.
probably even more. But it's something that it's all worth it. When
Yeah,
you
so
win.
hopefully it starts at 7. Normally it's
we're
like
very
half an hour
different
from
to-
when the program
Yeah,
starts,
bring
so
home the best results we can. So,
Fingers
yeah,
crossed.
let's go.
how's it going, Jochen?
There you go. I love that. It's just great insight that you
So
don't
yeah, I
often
reckon
get
it will
from the
start
drivers.
in
So
about
we've got
15,
more drivers who have
15
taken
odd
their mobile
minutes or
phone to
something like
film
that, I'd say.
something, and it just goes to show. It talks through that struggle. 2018 didn't get selected in the pro draft. Went away. He was sort of thwarted in that pursuit of what he wanted. He went away, worked harder, smarter.
50% last
and
year,
that
was it?
perseverance,
I thought it was
relentlessly has
35%.
got him to be a world champion. It
Honestly, I
goes to
just
show,
completely
Steph,
forgot,
It
but-
can happen to any of these drivers.
Absolutely, and do you know, it was quite emotional
So
actually. watching his
50% race?
journey,
Okay.
throughout his
That's
whole
decent.
career and to where he's got now. I think it's just
Yeah, there won't be
amazing
any
to see
two-stop
what you can see
races,
behind.
but
It's fantastic this
50%
setup for
better
us,
than
isn't it?
25%.
With this drivers
Let's put it
behind
that
us.
way.
But no, I think it's amazing to see the journey that all of these drivers take, and who knows who it
Yeah,
could
but
be
those
next.
rigs are quite nice.
Blakely's going to be hoping it's him, but so are all of these drivers.
Yeah, and you've got 19 other drivers gunning for him now. What sort of feelings is Lucas going to have coming into 2023?
Well, look, I feel like we've been putting a bit of pressure on him. Oh, target on your back, this, that, and the other. He's got a world championship now. He's going to now try and get another one. He's done it. He knows how to do it. He's shown that he has the mettle. He can now try and defend that. And of course, all the other drivers are in this room, which is going to be slightly different.
Race should be, I reckon, about 10 or so
Who stands out for you as
minutes.
being a real contender this season based on one qualifying session?
Yeah, well, yeah, lots of form book to go by. But no,
Is it going to be another former reigning champion like a Liano Watmir, maybe even a Brendan Lee stepping up, or maybe David Tanitsa cannot be a part of this because he's not competing this year?
No, he's not. Well, for me, when I look at the stats, I just think, how on earth has Freddie Rasmussen not won a driver's world title? So for me, I'm so interested to see, does he finish second again? I hope not for his sake. But the stats speak for themselves. He is an incredibly accomplished driver. To be so consistent over this many years, surely one day, 1 year.
Is F1 still not done an
about
announcement
that
or
a little
any of
bit
this at
more,
all?
but right now, I want to put
Yeah, it's the
Jarno
World F1
Watmir,
card they're
Lucas
still
Blakely,
using
and
as well.
Freddie Rasmussen in one room together and see what happens.
They're using a CSL V2.
Going into this season, I think the goal is naturally to try and defend our World Championships as best in a live stage as well. It's something that I'm very proud of, honestly.
Yeah, I hope they actually show us the grid again, because in qualifying they didn't show any results between the Q1, Q2, or even the end results as well. So
both of the years I won the championship, I wasn't the fastest as well, probably. Every year you see a lot of young guys be really fast, but it's really
the
hard
production
to
in
stay
the qualifying. Hopefully that's improved for the race, where we actually see the race.
Yeah, I definitely still have the drive. For as long as I'm here, I'm going to be trying to win.
I love the fighting talk there. It's brilliant to see. They're all hungry.
So yeah, the
these
CSL
drivers.
V2
We are
pedals,
just
yeah.
a few moments away from going racing for the first time in 2023.
So yeah, should be
so
racing
let's
soon.
fill that time before we can go racing by talking about, I guess, a head-to-head between Lucas Blakely, your reigning champion,
showed the grid before
and
it
Freddie
started.
Rasmussen.
Okay, good.
We talked about it. Freddie Rasmussen has got the most accrued points in sim racing in the F1 world. So why is there no title, and how do you compare the
I'm trying
two?
to think where the last
Honestly,
time
the
was.
stats really
Yeah,
speak
I'm not
for
too sure.
themselves. He's at the top
Might
on
be
almost
when I
every
raced.
metric that you measure. We're talking about wins, podiums, poles, etc., etc. But he doesn't have the one thing that Lucas Blakely does have. He doesn't have that world championship to his name, and that's the only thing that's lacking in his impressive list of accolades.
I'm going to be unserious for a second. Maybe it's the cap. Maybe it's Monaco that is the difference. Let's step away from that and go serious again.
yeah, let's do that.
Okay, Matt, he did say it was luck. And earlier on, Hayden said it comes down to you make your own luck. Do you think luck's the only thing that's holding Freddie back?
Yeah, if you
Of course,
watch the
there are some lucky moments, for
qualifying
sure.
stream
There are
on
some
Twitch,
moments
I think
where
you
Freddie
can watch the
Rasmussen
poll that
actually
back.
stepped aside to let his teammate race for him over the seasons gone by, which has then affected his Drivers' Championship bid. So I think there's a few different factors. I don't think we can even deny how much talent this Freddie Rasmussen has. Again, he's been looking really good coming into this season, 7th on the grid. I was a little bit surprised to not see him a little bit further up. He's ice cold, but yeah, it's.
So yeah, this
he's
is
gonna
round
be
one.
one to watch for sure. Again,
Round one,
Yes, he is.
50%
So what does
race,
Thomas
all equal
Ronhard
cars,
have to do? He's in
F1
P1
wild
at the
car.
moment.
stay there.
Stay there. Okay, good.
So yeah,
Let's cover that then.
I want Alfie Butcher to win. I think that'd be amazing
But
if he won the
it's so
first
good to
race
have
as a rookie.
someone, as experienced as Brendan Lee next to him, who has
But
won a
Thomas
world
Ronhard
title.
certainly
That will
shut a lot of
hopefully
people
help
up
Thomas.
on pole.
Anytime he's just off the pace or struggling a little bit, he can turn to Brendan. That's a great teammate.
Yeah, but I think it works the other way as well. When somebody's working well in the team and the other one struggling a little bit more, like we did see with Brendan qualifying down in P15, he can maybe ask Ronhard, say, "Oh, Tom, what's going on? What setup? What can I change? How can I
Brendan's a bit
gain
of a
little
PR
extra
machine
pace
right
where
now.
you can?" So it works both ways, the experience
Ronhard
goes
got
both
pole.
ways, and I think they can both help each other out.
I want to talk Williams for a second. The only reason why is because they finished bottom in the Constructors' Championship, Matt. And Alvaro Carreton has got to Q3. That seemed to be the thing that was holding them back last year. This could be a more exciting season for Williams because they've already got to Q3.
Yep, it was a good start. You know, we've got plenty of races to go, plenty of qualifying sessions, but Alvaro, he's been a driver that has shown some sensational pace at just moments in time, but it's not been consistent. And that's something that he's going to want to improve on over the course of this season, is being able to deliver time after time. And it's so difficult when the margins are so small in qualifying. A couple of tenths and you're out in Q1. That's the mental approach. That's the mental advantage that the top dogs have in this series.
Well, we've spoken a lot, but what do you guys think? Head across to our socials at F1 Esports. Let us know who you think is going to be taking the victory.
Yeah, obviously all the drivers can run different setups and everything as well, so just how the drivers are managed. But
before that,
yeah, this is the first time we're actually going to have equal cars because they're using the F1 World
I
car.
would like to now see Matt. Now, Matt, you were given this task. Which are your top 5 drivers coming into 2023?
Well, you're about to see, I think, because there you go. So Blakely, of course, I think for me was the favourite. I've, of course, picked Jarno Opmeer because I think you'd be silly not to. Thomas Ronha, I'm going to be showing off that one because he's on pole position. Freddie Rasmussen, of course, as I've just mentioned. And Josh Edu. I think he's a bit of a dark horse for this series. I think he'll genuinely be able to perform at a level. He was so impressive at AlphaTauri, and that's why he's got the step up to Red Bull. I think we joked last season about, oh, will he be knocking on the door of Red Bull? Yes, he will, because he's now
plenty
there.
of races to go, but yeah, we've already missed one race. We
We
should have been having Silverstone today rather than
behind me that I haven't chosen.
Bahrain. So
maybe
yeah, it's a shame because Silverstone's always a good race, but
I wouldn't email
I don't know if they're ever going to make an announcement on why this is delayed, or if they're going to do a statement. But
you had Barry Boromond.
It's insane what's actually been happening this last month or so. The last few days.
Both knocked out in Q2,
so strategy, I imagine they'll probably start on the hards and go to mediums.
Matt, why is Freddie all the way down
most
in
of the time?
P4? I mean, we know
maybe
from
the front runners might go
run
medium to
that
hard.
He should be in P2, no?
But I think safety car is turned off in esports. Formation lap is turned off as well. So let's just avoid any glitches. But
they're just my top 5.
I see.
There you go, and then I can get out of it.
You've done that excellently. Now you did choose.
I think there's 12 races in the season, but we've already missed one, so they'll have to add on Silverstone to another round.
Chocolate, what's he doing here?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Looks like hopefully they agreed the prize pool now, but
to find content creator Dirk Chocolate. Now, Dirk, look at how stunning this stage is. What do you make of it?
Amazing layout, amazing stage, production's amazing as well. I'm just really glad to be here and supporting the team as well. I'm excited to see the race as well.
Myself, and I think everyone at home, is dying to know, who are you supporting whilst you're here? I mean, it's not really anything we can go on.
Yeah, well, of course, I'm here with Oracle Red Bull Sim Racing, and with the team, I'm hoping to see Freddie and Josh absolutely smash it. It's just going to be an exciting race. It's starting a little bit further from where we
because safety car can do potentially more glitches. So
Red Bull obviously taking
obviously they're not confident in the game. The safety car came out, but obviously that would be entertaining.
A lot of friends,
but dynamic weather is
I want
enabled.
to see the rookies do
But I think it's
today,
on sim damage though. So any slight bits of contact, then your race is pretty much over.
Well, thank you very much, Dirk. Did you hear that, Tom? Flexing about all the friends he's got. How many friends do you have?
Not as many as Dirk Chocolate, but actually Dirk Chocolate is an absolute legend. Was at Silverstone this year.
Yeah, production have been a little bit disappointing. The main
Main
thing I don't like about the production is just that they, in qualifying, they just weren't showing. Literally, a driver was about to cross the line and just switched away to something else. So I feel like it needs to be much more about the drivers itself and less on just talking.
Or you can
hopefully we'll get underway in a few minutes.
I like a story, Tom. Alfie Butcher on debut takes the win. Come on.
All right, well, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to say Alfie Butcher.
You and Matt, let's start that race.
I'm going to say Alfie Butcher's going to win.
So, Steph, let's
or Danny Berezne. I like Alfie Butcher Berezne to win.
The first race, Bahrain. What are we
Come on, let's go.
Well, it's a fantastic opener, isn't it? It's a fantastic season opener. 15 corners, 5.4 kilometers. And yeah, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. 29 laps to see who's going to come out on top.
50% race.
We had an amazing qualifying. Lots of rookies performing to a level.
Yeah, the undercut is quite big around here. The undercut is absolutely huge. So the undercut's big, but then if you have the fresher tyres, you should be able to make up that undercut. So
get involved in any silly
yeah, it depends what position you're in. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe some of the front runners choose medium tyres and then go to a hard tyre just to try and break away, get the undercut with the hard tyre. But yeah, the hard tyre takes quite a long time to heat up, so that's why sometimes, most of the time, people start on the harder tyre.
I mean, what were you
Because when they switch to the medium, they don't really go get undercutted that badly when someone's gone from a medium to a hard. hard to medium, the mediums heat up much quicker, so you don't lose as much on the undercut. And then you gotta have a fresher and softer compound of tyre. So yeah, that's why a lot of people will probably go on the hard to medium strategy, which is usually the fastest strategy. Oh, all right, going straight to the race. We haven't even seen the start. Why are they not going on it? Are you serious? Can we see the gameplay?
As the cars feed through, is there any contact? Lucas Blakely in the mix there as well.
What on earth was that? They do that every single time. Why do they do that every time?
Who leads away from Danny Beresnay? Alfie Butcher in third.
Right, here we go.
Very close behind the Mercedes.
So what tyres are they on?
Softs? In the background, a few more. Jano Otmar in P8.
Is that a glitch or?
In the interview earlier, gaining a few positions after the grid penalties. Reasonably calm and collected, Steph.
Everybody sees
is that a glitch or is everyone on softs?
Which is a box ticked for the beginning of this race, and there you go. I think we had a little bit of a lock up there.
No, it's not a glitch. I saw someone on hards.
But there's a
one person on hards. What?
Going around with
so they're doing soft to hard,
into that turn 10,
or maybe even soft to medium. But
a couple of tyre lockups there.
Most league races I've seen this season, it's been like a hard to medium.
It is Thomas Ronhar leading the way.
Very, very surprised. No one in the top
Nicholas Longay in P4,
10 apart from Bahrain has gone on hards. That's crazy.
In 5th position. We're taking a look at Jano Otmar, who's gained one position at the start, known for his better race pace than quali pace. So let's see, does it equate to F1 23? We'll have to wait and see. As you can see there, by the way, the tyre graphic around
I'll make my camera
small
on
the soft tyres. We've got a few hard tyres. Barry Burman being the highest runner there. He'll be trying to cling on in these early stages where the soft tyres will be working beautifully.
Yes, but as you can see, Thomas Ronhar there setting the fastest lap out in front, looking calm, cool and collected. In a few laps, DRS.
I can't believe they missed the start of the race. That's insane. Like, what is this production?
Holding on there, Lucas going for an audacious move. Let's see now. No DRS, of course. We're on lap 2, and Lucas Blakely trying to
I'm shocked that a lot of these people have gone on the softs. I'd love to see where Barman ends up at the end of this race, having started on the hards. That could be a huge swing for him.
He's moving through the field, as you can see. Looking at Nicholas Longay, who has made up a place, started in P5. Lucas then dropped down a place in the opening laps. But as you can see, super close between the two of them. DRS will be enabled on the next lap. And as we know, Bahrain, 3 DRS zones. Hugely important for that overtaking when it comes to the hard braking zones of turn 1 and turn 4. Really important places that you can try and sneak past, so that will be what the drivers are waiting for.
Barman's in 12.
So there you go, there
let's see where he finishes at the end, because I'm very surprised.
Fassi with 5 gained and is into the top 10 in the Williams. Both drivers in the top 10.
Jano up to P7.
P8 and Fassi, the rookie, up 5. Forget
nerves. I'd love to see Beresnay win a race again. After the year he had last year, then that would be pretty nice.
Round the final corner, and we're about to go on to the all-important lap 3, where DRS starts to be enabled. Tom Manley has got a penalty.
Maybe the World F1 cars have something to affect, but
that can't just be track limits, surely, as Alfie Butcher, also a rookie, and we keep saying he's 16 years old, but that is a story in itself. Currently running in a podium position, and this is where we start to see, will the drivers be a little bit calm and collected when it comes to overtaking?
Engine overheating. So yeah, that's why they're pulling out the slipstream, just to cool down the engine.
Thomas Ronhar, who is currently leading this train.
Yes, leading the train.
Let's see how long these stuff's going for.
Super close between the 3 of them. Right there, the 5 of them at the
Butcher
front.
Looks very fast at the moment.
Butcher doing a fantastic job, clinging right to the back of Danny Beresnay there. We know a very
Butcher
experienced
could win
driver,
this. That would be insane.
Waiting for his time to pounce. We've spoken about Thomas Ronhar and his eagerness and how it bit him in the back last year. So just biding their time, waiting for the moment. It's a long race. We're on lap 3 of 29 laps. Anything could happen.
Not sure what's happened to Wilson
F1
Hughes.
Sim Racing, firstly, welcome, and secondly, this is normal, okay? We've got the top 18 all within DRS of each
let's see
other.
what Jano can do from here. I reckon Jano will either go super long or pit super early. But if you pit super early, fresher tyres are really powerful in this game, but so is the undercut as well. But the amount of time you undercut someone by, you can normally make up by the end of the race, so you just got to be very confident in your race pace. But I reckon Butcher's going to try and get into P2 here.
At the beginning of this one. as we now head on to lap 4.
Beresnay, I think, is going to try and go for the lead.
Move down the inside. It doesn't seem at the moment. They're all just in battery conservation mode, so they all have.
No, they won't be two-stopping. There's no way they'll be two-stopping.
The
The only track you would ever two-stop on, and especially in esports, would be something like maybe Mexico or Canada. Canada would be the only track.
It's all about conserving that energy.
But
the
yeah,
energy
there's no
recovery
way.
system's super
Pretty much
useful when it comes
99% of
to
tracks
making
are one-stop,
overtakes, when it
which
comes to being in that
I wish it wasn't the case, because I know on
Also very useful when it comes to
F1
defending,
2020,
riding on board at the moment with Nicholas
tracks at
Longain.
Mexico
Look at
were
him
like
right
a
on the
2 or
back of
3
Alfie
stop, which
Butcher.
made it very,
That
very
rookie,
entertaining.
He has
But
an experienced driver in front of him, an experienced driver behind him.
yeah, right
He's doing
now
his
you're
best
probably
to
not going to
just
see much
keep them
overtaking,
as it is
apart from
and
second or
waiting for his
first.
moment to pounce and get even
Everyone's
further.
just going to
You
save
can
the
see
rest as much as
drivers
possible.
Just having a little look out on the line. Alfie Butcher to the left there, seeing if he can dive up the inside.
But yeah,
but
the
not
F1 world
quite
cars look
close
so
enough, not
weird
just
with
yet,
this
anyway.
Not worth the move
custom
at the
livery
moment
on
for
top.
Alfie Butcher, who is riding in a very, very solid P3.
You can see Butcher's
Nicholas
all
Longain, one
over
of the
Danny Beresnay.
favourites, I'd have to say, in some ways. I know I didn't put him in my top 5, but he himself was saying he was
Love to see how much
incredibly
ERS
confident
Ronha has
coming
as well.
into this new season and currently running P4. That is a very strong result if he can stay there. And we now take a look at Thomas Ronha, the rear wing of that Alfa Romeo, and very strong exit of that final corner.
Yeah, he's got
Has a
insane
whopping
traction,
half a second,
Ronha.
which doesn't seem like much, but
It's
I promise
crazy.
you, that is a lot in F1 sim racing. Does Danny Beresnay have a little look? No. They're all just in conservation mode at the moment.
Yeah, Ronha's
worth
traction is
mentioning
insane.
Jed Norgrove having a very good
It's
debut
crazy.
as well in P6. Not a lot of movement at the moment. The pit window will open at around lap 8. Lap 10 is usually seen as the best time for the softs to be got rid of and the hards to be put on.
Yeah, no real
I
position
believe
changes at the
we've
moment.
got some damage. So there's a couple of drivers you'll see at the bottom there. Wilson Hughes and Fabrizio Donoso. My wonderful assistant Hayden has come and let me know that both had damage. Hughes and Donoso after a lap
Alfie
1
Butcher's
crash.
right up
So,
behind Beresnay
unfortunately
though.
for both of them, of course, they were running towards the back anyway, and they're now running on the medium compound
Yeah, most
tyre.
of the action,
Yeah, they'll be hoping to extend
as we
that
saw of
now
last
a
2
little bit
seasons, they're
further
probably going
on
to be in the
there.
pits. You're not
Both
going to
of them, I
see
believe,
a
started
huge amount of
on the hard
overtakes. Since
tyres
everyone's
over
just
hard
so
to
good,
medium right now. We'll
you're
have
not
to
really going to
see
see
how this
a
plays out in
huge
the
amount of
strategy. You
overtaking,
never know what will
unfortunately.
happen in
But
F1
maybe once the tyres
esports,
start going
it's
off,
always
depending on
quick.
what
But
kind
as
of
you can
sets
see,
people are
the
running,
times are so
they're running a
close
little bit
together.
high
Thomas
downforce,
Ronha
then you
at
might see those
slight
guys come through a little
disadvantage.
bit
He might be
more.
running in
But
clean air ahead,
because
but
of the
everybody
level that
else
these
behind
guys are
him
driving at,
within DRS
yeah.
of the car in front.
And that's why last year
these
Ronha, when
drivers
he
become
was
so
having
close
a
together at the
tenth,
moment.
half a tenth gap on other
The
drivers,
really important time will be
you
when
don't
that pit
realise the
window
level
opens.
that these
Which
guys are
driver
at.
in
That's a
that
lot
mid-pack? I'm
at
thinking
that level.
Otmik,
So I
Karaton,
think that's why a lot of the
those kind of
drivers were
drivers, when will they
kind of
go
convinced
for
something
an
is up. But I
aggressive
imagine
strategy
Beresnay's probably
and
got
try and
overtake
make
now,
their way up the field?
and with
Then
Alfie
again,
as
I
well.
say that,
I
Jana
think they're
Watmik
both
is
going
more
to overtake him.
suited to do overcuts and might go a little bit longer
Oh.
as we now have a fight for the lead as Danny Beresnay decides I want that
But this
P1
is where
going
Alfie
round the
needs to-
outside, late on the brakes.
Oh shit!
Contact!
Oh!
That's contact, that's Nicholas Longain.
Longain, he's
Rounded
out.
into the
Yep.
back. And there
He's
you can
out.
see front wing gone for Nicholas
He's out.
Longain. We were just saying how confident he was feeling coming
Oh,
into
man.
this series, and he has lost his front wing.
Don't
That
know what's
is gonna
happened
be
there. He must have
curtains
just
for
missed
the
his
rest of his
braking or
race.
something. But
Oh, what a shame for him. That's absolutely put his race into a spin. As we saw, I hope we can get a replay of that
Nico,
and what went on
unlucky man.
down there. But Danny Beresnay has
this is what I
taken
mean
the
about
lead of this
Longain.
race
He
in amongst all
has the
the
pace to
He
win
was
in
ahead
F1
of
Esports
Thomas
on pure
Ronha.
pace
And
qualifying.
there you can see the three of them.
Just
Alfie
this
Butcher,
consistency.
Thomas Ronha, Danny Beresnay
Yeah,
running
that's,
ahead
he's not
of
going to
the
get any points
crowd.
now. As soon as you
And
get damage to a
Norgrove,
penalty in
amongst all that
esports,
mess, he's managed to get up
you're
to
not going to get any
P4.
points. So
Has indeed, as we can now take a look at Ronha, who of course got out of that pretty unscathed, I think. Still running in P2, still very much in with a shout of winning this. Nicholas Longain, I'm sure we will speak to him after the race. That was, well, just laid on the brakes, locked up, and then he's pretty much a passenger in that Ferrari. So a
so
really,
lucky for him,
really
but-
disappointing result for him. Let's see if he can continue in this race. I know he will try his best, but with the loss of
but
downforce
Ronha,
that he
look
will
how
have with that
easily
front
he's-
wing gone,
he's
yeah,
like
already
pushing him
down to
along.
10th.
It's crazy.
So I imagine he might be coming into the pits to go for an early pit stop. We'll have to wait and see. As there is Alvaro Karaton, who's now promoted himself up to P6. The Williams team
Jarno,
are doing
P5.
a great job. But let's take a look at the
Jarno's
front again.
making good progress.
Thomas Ronha in the slipstream, now out of the slipstream. DRS wide open.
See Alfie
Ronha
just trying to
takes
cool
the
down
lead
his
back
engine
from
as well.
Danny Beresnay.
And as you can see, Alfie
Jed
Butcher is
Novgrove
just having a little look.
is,
He pulled
doing
out
pretty
to
well
the
as
back,
well.
seeing if he can take the inside line. Not quite there, but he is all over the back of him, just biding his time. And Danny Berezne, we can see
Ronhar has quite a bit less fuel than Berezne as well. which indicates he's running a bit of a lower downforce setup. So this is what we saw from Ronha last year. He was the fastest in a straight line, and he was the best on traction, which normally don't correlate that well, but whatever setup he's running seems to be working very, very well. You can see Bahrain in P10 still able to keep with the soft runners, so I'm very surprised not many other people went on the hards as well. Only 4 drivers did that, which is pretty insane. But Blakely has damage. Where is Blakely? Oh shit. Oh no, that's not good for him.
Really making a statement in F1 Sim Racing 2023, taking pole position, losing the lead, getting it back.
But yeah, Ronha, look how comfortable he looks.
For Danny Berezne, who was struggling so much last year. Couldn't get a feel of the car.
I'd love it if Berezne won. I think he's one of the nicest guys in F1 Esports, and I think he's had a rough last couple of seasons, so Alfie Butcher and that Jed Norgrove as well, very impressive.
I do think it's worth pointing
Ruben
out that
Pedrino as well.
does thrive in the LAN environment.
But both Red Bulls aren't having a good race so far.
Esports of 2018, 2019, when all of these drivers were in one room, and is that Alfie Butcher just looking up the inside? Not quite able to make a move just yet. But back to Danny Berezne.
But Jarno, if he has any chance of winning this race,
that's a move.
Shit!
That's a move. Oh my goodness me, that's Manley, who has a penalty and has just sent one up the inside. I'm not sure if there's a bit of carbon fiber going around there as well, but that was
if Jarno wants to win this race, he needs to start making overtakes in his first stint. He can't just wait for the pits. And the thing is, everyone's so close, if you get undercut by 2-3 seconds, it doesn't matter even if you have fresher tyres. The fact that you have to get past so many cars, use so much ERS to do it, that's pretty much your race over. So you can't really afford to stay out much longer than everyone else around you. So yeah, Jarno, he needs to dispatch the AlphaTauri pretty quickly, but you can see he's right behind him.
Caraton and Fassi, both Williams drivers, 6th and 7th at the moment. What a great result that would be.
Yeah, cheating is not impossible on the LAN. We've seen it in other esports. It is definitely possible, and considering how this has been organised and what we've seen, you can't imagine it's probably the most stringent of checking in the world. So, but I think it's very, very unlikely. It's just a huge risk for him to do it, and I think with the controversy around him, I don't think he'd really be taking that risk either. So, but you know, there is $750,000 on the line, but.
So for the undercut, it would be very, very.
Yeah, you can see all the drivers just pulling out the slipstream
right now if they wanted
just
to go
trying
for
to
it. And there you can see
cool down the engine.
Actually defending from another rookie in the AlphaTauri, Jed Norgrove behind him, just defending on that straight there. Excellent from both their.
Yeah, so he's not defending; he's just cooling down his engine. Just commentators don't.
Hayden, have you got some more information for us?
Yeah, I've been down with the team managers, spoke to them about what's happened. A driver moving under braking in front of Lucas Blakely, caught him off guard and unfortunately has broken his front wing, which means an early pit stop and potentially committing now to a 2-stop strategy. Is it over for the first round for Lucas Blakely? We're going to have to wait and see. There's still a long race left to go.
He's just set the fastest
not going to get any points.
Lucas Blakely, and you'd imagine
the time I have to change the front wing as well. He's not going to get any points.
Any chance of points, so we'll have to wait and see
look at
what they try
Ronha.
and do in that McLaren Shadow team, but a difficult
almost
start
putting
for
a
Lucas
second
Blakely,
number, isn't it? That's insane.
I imagine if he's probably got stuck in with that Nicolas Longuet incident, but Lucas, unfortunately for him,
insane.
He's not going to be too happy. Well, 18th at the moment, 19 seconds off the back of the field.
Don't know if he's running a low downforce or high downforce setup, but
23 seconds lost in the pit.
That's exactly what I was trying to find, Steph. Thank you very much. 23 seconds, so he is still in the mix. It just depends whether or not he can take those tyres all the way to the end of the race.
I know she doesn't know the game, but when you're presenting, it's probably a good idea to know the game.
Lucas Blakely is currently running. And then we can sort of start to make some educated guesses.
Just looking over, actually, it looks like he's on the red-marked soft tyres, which is an interesting choice, Matt.
Well, that's the beauty. That's the beauty in LAN events. You can just have a look, can't you?
Yeah, the pace that Ronha has is crazy.
As Alfie Butcher,
definitely looks the fastest out there at the moment.
To negotiate his way through not only the 2 cars ahead of him, but also
two Williams, 6 and 7. That's good for them.
Well. It is constantly chopping and changing.
So
but it's
constructors-wise, it's good for them at the moment.
Is currently in 5th place now.
Same for Mercedes.
Slowly and surely making his way through this pack, as he said he could do, and that's correct. Yeah, Lucas Blakely on the soft tyres, so a definite 2-stop strategy.
Yeah, and interestingly, Nicholas Longe as well, just jumping into
right
the
now,
pits there.
everyone's just going to be saving
Maybe
as
Hayden can give us some information
much
on
ERS
what
as
the
possible.
issues there,
But
whether he
Ronhard
had
definitely has the least
any
amount of
damage as a
fuel
result of that
out of
contact
anyone.
as we're riding on board
I saw
with
he was
Yana
only on
Watmere.
pretty much
He's
just
got
over 1
Jed
lap, so
Norgrove in his sights. He is getting ever so close as we head into that difficult, tricky corner there. He's making up all the moves. He's recovering that energy, 97% energy recovery. So he is ready to make some moves. He is ready to start overtaking.
Look at the intensity in Yana Watmere's face. It's
Yeah,
so
overheating
great to have
makes
that
quite a big
live
difference,
here
yeah.
in this studio. It is amazing
you
to have F1
lose
sim
a
racing
lot
as
of
LAN event
straight down
once
speed
again,
if your
and to
engine
have all of
overheats,
these
so
drivers
that's why you see the drivers pulling out all the time.
to try and make a name of themselves. We're
Yeah,
on
right
lap
now,
10
most drivers are not
of
really even
29,
interested in
and
overtaking.
it's
They're just
still
interested
Thomas
in
Ronhard leading the
saving
way
the ERS as
ahead
much
of
as
Danny
possible. But
Berezne, who's
if
having a very
Alfie can
strong
get into
performance at the
P2,
moment,
because I think
and
he's
Alfie
got more
Berezne,
pace
I
than
wonder
Berezne.
if there's seeing
Yeah, if
that
he can
Nicholas
get past
Longe
Berezne.
instant, whether they
Oh,
even want to
someone's pitted
take
already
these risks.
after
And we
lap
have
10.
Jed Norgrove coming into the pits, as well as Yana
Oh, a lot of
Watmere
people pitting.
and Alvaro Caraton. So they're the first to blink of the front
Okay.
pairing as the top three continue on. Ismail Fassi now goes up to 4th, but won't have DRS.
So yeah, that's quite
to
early.
Alfie Butcher
So they're going to go
ahead.
to mediums.
How strong is this undercut going to be? Could we see
The undercut's
a new
going to be
race
pretty
leader?
powerful.
Oh,
But
potentially we could. This undercut is
you can see
very, very
Barrowman,
strong
he's
around here.
P6
He can
and
gain
he's on a
around
hard
2 seconds
tyre.
of time
So I'd
hitting,
definitely look out for him
the
for the end of the
undercut in
race,
this game
because I
due
think
to
he's
the
going to
soft
be very
tyres
strong. And
drop-off.
again, I'm very
So it'll be very
surprised that a lot of
interesting
people
to
didn't
see
follow
where these drivers come out. As
that
you
same
mentioned, it's
strategy,
probably
actually.
going to
Very
be a
surprised
one-stop race
that
due to
only
that
3 or
large
4
amount of
people
time
actually
you've
did.
been losing the pit lane, and that is Jed Norgrove there.
So yeah,
He's
on the
out,
outlap, they're just going to push with the
Yana
ERS now.
Watmere right behind him,
Get
looking
that
to
track
make a
position.
move on
But the
outside
leaders
of the
can't
track. They're
afford
out
to
of
stay
the
out
pit
for
lane,
more than
not quite close enough,
really
and
2
as
laps.
you can see,
Otherwise, they're
Lucas
going to be
Blakely just a little
undercutted
bit further up
by a
in
lot of
front.
drivers. And
Interestingly,
even with
then,
fresher
Lucas
tyres,
Blakely
2 or
is
3 lap
ahead
fresher
of
tyres, if
with
you're going to be
Norgrove
behind
and
another 8
Watmere,
cars, then
which, will be very interesting to see
yeah,
how
you're just
that
going to waste all
unfolds.
your
But
ERS
they
getting past
haven't
them.
come out
So
in clear air,
there's a point
these
where
two
you need
drivers,
to
and
do think about
they're
coming
still
in.
going to be pushing on. They're going to have Lucas Blakely on very fast soft tyres, so they may well still jump the front 3. This is a crucial lap to make their
Yeah,
way
Longe
through
had damage.
the pack.
Longe
As you
and
can
Blakely
see,
had
Yana
damage
Watmere
if they're
has
just tuning in
almost
as well.
an entire battery's worth to deploy, and he deploys
So you
it
can
now
see,
down
yeah,
the
he's
straight.
trying to get this
I
track
wonder
position.
if we'll see a few drivers at the front of the pack coming into the pits now to cover off.
So yeah, see if
this
any of the leaders
undercut,
come in.
because Yana Watmere is pushing on a lot here with Norgrove, Blakely, and Nicholas
Yep.
Longe.
Yeah,
actually,
they
is
have to
ahead
pit,
of them.
otherwise,
The whole lot
but
of
they
them
are going to be
despite
undercutted.
the damage, and we now
Jed
have a lot
Norgrove,
of pitters coming in now.
I reckon,
Yeah,
will
they're
be
all
coming out
jumping
as a
into the
race
pits,
leader.
and there we go. It's Barry Burman who's leading the race at this point in that Ferrari.
Yeah.
Started
Well, Lucas
way
Blakely,
down outside
but
of
he's
the
on
top
the soft,
10,
so
but leads the
he's
race
not going to make it to the end of the
currently. Now,
race.
all these front runners
Unfortunately.
who are now pitting, where are they going to come out? Because it's 23 seconds that we're waiting, and we're riding on board with Yana Watmere. He looks like he's going to try and make an overtake on Jed Norgrove, but not quite.
Oh, they're all coming out the pits now. Thomas Ronhard is on the pit exit. This is going to get really tight into turn 1.
Shit.
And
Oh,
it's
it's
actually
free
Lucas Blakely
wide.
that comes
That's not
out
going to
ahead of
work.
A lot of them. Nicholas Longe just ahead. Thomas Ronhard's off the road, fighting Jed Norgrove. It's all changed. The undercut, that one lap.
Jed Norgrove, it's a net race leader, I'd say, right now.
They've got right involved here.
Yep.
Wow, they're totally in the mix now with everything. As you can see, Yana Watmere
Yana's
lost
right
out a
here,
little
though.
bit. Thomas
But
Ronhard
towards the end of the
there
race,
ahead of him,
that
and they
will
all
start
got
to become a
caught
bit
up
more of
in
a
the
punishment,
mix of
having
those
older
who are
tyre.
leaving the pit lane.
Oh,
And
he's
there's
got that
been
inside!
on Thomas Ronhard.
Oh.
He goes still up the inside and makes that
Here
move.
we go.
Ronhard's going to have the inside line going into the next corner, and they go too wide, headed into turn 10.
Oh,
and they're so close between the two of them.
Side
Instant
by
contact
side.
there.
Who's got the
Ronhard's
best straight
gonna
down
have the inside
speed?
line going into the next corner. Goes
yeah,
up to the
Ronhard's got
floor.
it.
Ronhard's going to make the overtake stick. He's going to stay in front, going into
But Yana needs to try and get ahead of him as soon as he can. Track the position.
I don't think this battle is
Let
over
him
yet,
use his
Mark.
ERS.
That was millimetres away, a bit of contact as well, and these two have a bit of history, and Ronhard comes out in front of Yana
So yeah,
Watmere.
Norgrove is
But
the net race leader right now.
Nicholas Longe is leading this train despite having
Yeah,
that damage
watch
at
out
the
for
beginning.
Barrowman.
Lucas
Honestly,
Blakely is behind. Then you've
I
got
think he
Norgrove,
is going to be a
Ronhard,
threat in this
Watmere,
race. He's going to get
Caraton,
undercutted
and
by
then
quite a
you've
bit,
got
but
Berman, Rasmussen, Ido doing
he's
a
probably going to
completely
go to a
different
hard
strategy,
to
carrying
soft,
on,
so he'll
a
probably
lot
pit
longer into the race.
maybe
Just
lap
look at the
19.
amount of cars
But
on
if these
that
guys
straight.
keep
That is
battling,
F1 sim racing Racing.
That's
at
really
its
going to help
finest.
him
I think
quite
there
a
was
lot.
a move there as well. Jet Norgrove has actually just got ahead of Blakely and Longay into turn
Yeah,
one.
Jet Norgrove.
And Norgrove
He's a
is
rookie
now
as well.
becoming
He's doing very
the
well.
net race leader as a rookie.
Yeah,
As
it's a rookie.
the net
That's
race
just as
leader
what
of
they
this
just
race,
said.
as we ride on board with Jana Watmir, getting closer to Lucas Blakely, and you can see the net race leader ahead.
These two have a bit of a history.
Behind him, Thomas Ronhart, Lucas Blakely, a whole host
So I don't think
of
Blakely's going to fight this
riding
too
on board
much.
behind him. We're seeing an overtake from Jarno Opmeer. He dives up the inside of Lucas Blakely, and he makes that overtake stick, and there's a Williams.
So yeah, Blakely's going to have to pit again. He won't make it to the end and stuff, so...
hoping to capitalise on Lucas Blakely's little bit of a tyre lock
So
up
yeah,
there.
Jarno's got to make sure he's
Jarno Opmeer got past the
comfortably
current
in the
reigning world
DRS.
champion, Lucas Blakely, and you can see...
Be interesting to see how much ERS
So Blakely's a bit of a sitting
Ronhart has
duck
as
now,
well.
unfortunately for him. He's getting swallowed up after being on those soft tyres earlier on in the race. So he's not really in this fight at the moment. Jarno Opmeer
where's
certainly is.
Perez
He's got
now?
Thomas Ronhart and Nicholas Longay ahead of him. But Norgrove, out of nowhere, has managed to make that undercut work. And you can see Ronhart just in front of us there,
Perez now,
having
where
a
is
little
he?
look on Longay,
P13,
deciding
shit.
better of it. Of course, Longay
But again,
has older
I would
medium
keep an
tyres
eye on
at
Barry
the moment.
Barrowmount.
And Ronhart now
And
with the
Rasmussen as
slipstream,
well.
with a bit of DRS and energy to boot.
Because those rest of tyres will be very, very powerful in the
the
race.
Here comes Ronhart on the inside with 3 wide going into turn 1. Who is going to come out on top of this one? Is it going to be Ronhart with the inside line? It is. What a move from Ronhart, who retakes the lead.
So let's see that gap between Ronhart and Weigand. See how quickly that comes down. So yeah, Barrowman probably pit at lap 18, 19 for the softs at the end, I imagine. But he's going to be absolutely rapid coming towards the end of the race.
But lost out now is in net P3 and is going to be looking to get past Nicholas Longay.
So I'm really keen to get Hayden Gullis's thoughts on this as well, as it is all kicking off in the first race of the season.
Yeah, they can appeal warnings and stuff at the end of the race, but
sim racing, the strategies are so important this
yeah,
season.
keep an eye on Barrowmount, honestly.
You're getting about 2
But
seconds of lap time, especially
you can see Ronhart's already gained a second on this lap, 1.1 seconds on Weigand, so yeah, it might be a bit tough for Barrowmount, but yeah, I reckon he's going to be quite strong at the end of the race if these guys keep battling. But Beresne's really, really lost out.
On track, and if he can get himself into that top 10, he can maybe not
But
only
if Ronhart can
the fastest lap as
keep
well.
putting away from Longay and break the DRS, then Norgrove and Opmeer, then I reckon he can actually just run away with this race as well.
So right now, it's not working. Is it going to work?
It's not
John
impossible.
William for 12
I think
months.
there is potentially a chance.
How's you doing, man?
As the
Thank you so much.
On this year's game are so important.
But yeah, if Ronhart can break the DRS of Longay, because Longay is on older tyres, then I reckon he can win this race quite comfortably, because he's definitely got the pace. But
just over 10 laps to go, it's going to be difficult.
It's going to be a mountain of a task for Lucas Blakely, but you know he will try until the very last lap. He is getting, as I said,
Blakely's got to pit again, so he's not really in this race at all.
And it is a painful watch if you're a McLaren Shadow fan at the moment, as Lucas Blakely continues to fall further and further back with 14 laps to go.
So Rasmussen's now appeared, but look at Rasmussen, you can see he's almost come out in last place.
The move happened really there.
But everyone's within the same DRS, so
world champion. He'll look to bounce back in the next race.
Yeah, Barrowmount's got to probably come out
we have Thomas Ronhart
18th
in the net race lead. We've had a few pit stops. Freddie Rasmussen, Josh
but he'll be the fastest guy on track.
They're going to look to be very quick now in this
might even go
final
mediums
stage of
as
the
well,
race and
but
try and thrust themselves into the points. As we have just passed half race distance, we've still got Barry Burman and Tom Manley out there having not stopped.
Yeah, Ronhart right now is, if he can break this DRS from Longay, then
not going to be an easy one.
I think it's,
no, it's going to be a tough
his race to lose, that's for sure.
To deal with. On that, Freddie Rasmussen and Josh Ido, they are on that alternative strategy, and they've jumped onto the medium tyres, so they will have fresh tyres towards the end. Maybe that's what Blakely needs to do. I think he needs to jump into the pit lane. We're going to see him get into the pits now. Yes, he is. He dives into the pit lane. Whether he'll go onto medium tyres, I reckon he probably will. Take him to the end of the race. He does seem
Blakely
like
will probably literally come last in this race.
Side by side, that's Norgrove and Opmeer into turn 1. Who's going to come out on top? Oh, Opmeer's gone off the road. Norgrove didn't give him any space either. They're both going to have DRS now down this straight. Who's going to have? Well, the inside line's going to be Opmeer. But
yeah, he had to give the
is
place
so
back,
late on the
although he got pushed a little bit wide, but would have got a penalty otherwise.
Norgrove, as a rookie, does not care about the experience around him.
So yeah, Ronhart breaks this DRS from Longay, who Longay is on these older tyres, then
in the mix there.
Yeah,
I
Ron
thought he
Haas
was going to
going
be
this
able to
race
capitalise and move another place forward during that battle between
because he's
Jet
got the
Norgrove
fresher
and
tyres than
Jarno Opmeer
Norgrove
there.
and
It is in a
Jarno,
bit
so
of a Mercedes sandwich. He's got Opmeer
yeah,
ahead,
he'll just pull away
Resney
and win by
behind.
quite a distance.
He's looking to attack
We
and
can see
also
Jarno's not too
defend
happy
and
there.
ride on board with Jarno Opmeer. As he's going up through the gears, he's going to want to make this move stick on Jet Norgrove, but he is defending for his life. A fantastic job from him in his opening round in the F1 Sim Racing World Championship.
48, well, make that 49 race starts for Jarno Opmeer now. 636 points to his name, 11 wins. Norgrove, first race.
Ron Haar, I think.
It's not quite fair when you look at the statistics.
Yeah, I've raced with Ron Haar when he first came to league racing back in 2018, and he's always been rapid. He always had many world records in Xbox when he first started, but I think last year the issue was that he just had so much of a gap to other drivers. You don't realise how insanely competitive this is, and his jump in pace from F1 21 to 22. Not even between games, but like when he first played in PC in 22 at the start, when he switched to PC, he was competitive, but then when he got to esports, he just got to a whole new level, which was just, yeah, just his consistent gap to the field, I think, was at times, based off the way he drove and the low downforce he had, and was the quickest in certain corners and in the traction zones. At times it just didn't really make sense, and we know that cheating was very possible. With these cheats, you can increase the grip or the ERS usage or many other factors by 0.00001%, and you know, if you gave that to someone like Ron Haar, who's already capable of winning races, legit, if you want to say he wasn't legit, then you know, it's going to benefit you. So you know, when there was that much money on the line, you're playing from home, it's not being monitored. I wouldn't say even call it just Ron Haar. I would say there's probably multiple drivers who were probably testing the limits, let's say, but you know, as we can see here, although it's not out of the question still, I think it's extremely unlikely that any driver will be cheating here, because the risk of being caught is very high. So you know, right now I'd say it's legit, and you can see he's out of the DRS, and you can see he's just by himself, so this is going to get messy, I think.
Goes Danny Beresney. There is action every single place you look, and thankfully they're all facing the right way. Alfie Butcher now back down to 8th as Danny Beresney fights tooth and nail to keep that position.
But these two are going wheel to wheel all over the place. As you can see, we're riding with Jarno there.
Well done, Danny. Good.
Oh, we're riding with Danny Beresney. Alvaro Caraton ahead of him.
You can see Ron Haar. Yeah, he's won the race.
Butcher behind, but they're so close. Just a 1/10 of a second behind. Butcher,
yeah, he's out of the DRS. He's got the fresher tyres. Yeah, Ron Haar has won this race pretty comfortably already. So
so close to each other.
But Barrowman has now pitted, so you can see he's that red dot. So see how much he can actually make up. But
laps to go, and they continue to fight lap after lap. But you know who that's helping? Thomas Ron Haar.
Yeah, I think for me there was no doubt he was capable of winning races. I don't think there was any doubt of his speed, but it's just, although it's not physically impossible, just sometimes the gap he had to certain drivers was just crazy, insane. And his Q1 times, the gap he had to some drivers at times was just pretty crazy. With the low downforce as well, you shouldn't have the best traction and the best grip in certain corners, which, but again, I think if he wasn't legit, then I don't think he would be using an extra 1%. It'd be like 0.005% or something like that, which, no, he'd still be good enough to win races, but it just makes it that bit easier to win races.
Oh, what's gone on there? There's a lot of front wing damage there, as there was a car slow into turn 1.
So, yeah, Alfie
Nicholas
Butcher
Longue there. Looked like he was at the head of the field.
Kind of seeing what we see from him in league racing, where it's a little bit erratic at times. This is just where it's going to be a bit of a learning experience for him, but you can see he's got the pace.
But it was all kicking off. Ron Haar still in the lead.
You see Ron Haar 2.6 second gap. We're probably going to see that extend quite a bit now.
We just saw.
It was all happening up and down there. I think
there's a
Danny
lot of
Berezny and
contact.
Alvaro Carreton both involved in that issue. As you can see, I believe that's Alvaro Carreton behind Danny Berezny trying to make the move stick, but the Mercedes duo are back together. All behind him, it's all happening. You've got Alfie Butcher in the mix as well.
I reckon Berezny will get a podium here as well. The freshest of tyres he has.
And all in a train right now.
But Mercedes doing pretty well at the moment.
Where the move can stick, but it's really
But Ronha, yeah, he's got this race. Unless he makes a huge mistake or gets a penalty, he's pretty much got this race in the bag.
What did you make of that?
But you can see Bahrain, if you look at that red dot just coming into Sector 3 now, he's catching very, very quickly. So.
And this is what you're going to get with the different strategies. Cars and drivers who have much fresher tyres. Speaking of Alfie Butcher, Danny Berezny, they've gone a little bit later in the race, so they're really trying to overtake that pack that's maybe hurting slightly for going earlier and getting track position. And unfortunately, they all came together, and there's a few damage out on track, which I'm trying to figure out who it was for.
Okay, I'm sure you'll come and nudge me if you find out who's got that damage, as Freddie Rasmussen now starts to make his way through.
Yeah, that gap to Ronha is going to extend quite a bit there, I think.
A couple of points to his name,
so, yeah.
and is starting to look like
Longue, he's got the oldest tyres out of this group, so I'd expect him to pull back. But
Freddie Rasmussen to the inside.
Yeah, Bahrain P14 right now, but I reckon he'll probably get in the points by the end of this race.
A very accomplished
that
driver
P13.
we spoke about before the race.
So yeah,
and he's
going to come in.
And
Rasmussen as well. He's got the freshest mediums out of everyone, and that's really, really going to pay dividends at the end of the race.
Something must have happened. Hayden, I wonder if we can go down to Williams.
But yeah, the pace from Ronha right now is insane.
It looks like he might have been involved in that.
And I know he's done a land before in the expedition, but to be in a land at this stage and this performance,
yeah.
You can only
insane.
Look at the cars.
So it looks like he's probably going to get maximum points from this event right now.
He is making moves in that Oracle Red Bull Racing car up to 7th, and you just see all of the cars there.
So I reckon Rasmussen could maybe get P2 this race if he keeps going with these fresher tyres.
Still within DRS, Thomas Ronha continues to lead the way and looks like he has got this locked in. But it is an almighty fight for second place.
Jed Norgrove, very, very impressive.
Who is going to come out on top on this one?
I mean, Jed Norgrove is doing
you can
a
see the pressure
job
of these tyres, these medium tyres.
At the front of that train at the minute, he's staying calm, cool, and collected. No worries about what's going on behind him.
And he's got a lot of ERS as well. If he can get Berezny as well.
Alfie Butcher up the inside
he thought about it.
Alfie's hanging around the outside though.
That's the thing, Rasmussen just needs to be a little bit more aggressive at times. He's got the pace more than anyone.
But this battle is not over yet. We're heading down.
Yeah, he just needs to be efficient with his ERS here. If he can get through these cars quite quickly, then I don't think he can catch Ronha, but I think he can get to P2 with these medium tyres.
Alvaro Carreton has come into the pits with damage, unfortunately. That is heartbreak for the Williams team, but they've still got their hopes with Fassi, who's running in P8. But right now, the focus is on Freddie Rasmussen, 6th at the moment. He has got much fresher tyres than the cars around him, and he is dispatching them one after the other, lap after lap.
Yeah, Ronha is not that far ahead. We've still got 8 laps of this race to go. It's got quite a lot of lap fresher tyres on Ronha, so if he can get to P2, then it might not even be over for Rasmussen. He just needs to try and overtake people without using much ERS.
Of drivers, it has to be said. But I imagine
these fresher tyres are really going to work in his favour now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he'd be pretty happy
pulling out
with
Perception
that.
again.
You can see we're riding on board with him now. Up through the gears, he's looking to pick off his next attacker, which is
not
the
with mistakes like that
drivers
though.
ahead. You've got Danny Berezny and Jarno Opmeer ahead of them.
There we go, turn off
As
the
we head
ERS.
onto the main straight, it looks like he's going to start picking them off. Oh, but Danny Berezny goes to the right in a defensive move. Is Freddie Rasmussen going to go round the outside into turn 1? Is he going to make that move stick? He does do it, but Danny Berezny comes back at him. He's not quite ready to
they're
give
fighting
up
all the way around. Longue and Opmeer were fighting into turn 1, and you had Rasmussen and Berezny.
So yeah, Rasmussen I think is definitely going to get P2.
Berezny, but there's more action
Might be able to even catch Ronha. Like Ronha's not that far up the road, but just depends how he can cope with his tyres falling off the cliff. But
in this first race of the season, will he look to the inside? He decides against it.
Yeah, but this is all helping Ronha though, because Longue is going to be a lot slower than everyone else.
Or in his mirrors, because Freddie Rasmussen is coming.
He's got so much ERS though.
You can see Freddie Rasmussen behind you. Nicholas Longue doing a great
crazy
job
how
of
much ERS he
defending,
has.
considering his tyres have been so much older than those of the tyres, than those of the drivers around him. Definitely going to look like Opmeer is going
if Rasmussen can get to P2 quickly, then he might even have a chance of winning the race. With 3 or 4 lap fresher tyres, that's going to be quite a big amount of time per lap. So, but the thing is, he doesn't have that much ERS to play with right now, so he needs to try and overtake these cars without using as much battery as possible.
And it has been frantic action all the way. And is Otmir about to make me turn up my intonation again? No, not
so
just
overheating is quite a big issue around here. It's just why you see all the
well
drivers pulling up.
Into turn 1. Norgrove looks like he's got a reasonable exit.
But Norgrove,
right in the
he's doing incredibly well.
He pulls to the inside line. Jarno Otmir, will he try and get the pair of them? Yes, he will.
Jarno's got a lot of ERS as well.
And Otmir has gone from 4th all the way up to 2nd. If he can spot his braking zone,
Rasmussen needs to get a couple of cars here.
Jarno Otmir. And what about Jed Norgrove? Will he try and get Longe on the way up here? Freddie Rasmussen in the background as well. It is pass or be passed in this first race of the season here in Bahrain, and it is Otmir up to 2nd.
Oh, and it's so unfortunate. Jed Norgrove lost hours. Jarno Otmir was just heading past Longe there, and he's trying to spot
Rasmussen
Nicholas
needs
Longe,
to get these cars very, very quickly now.
Back up into a podium position. It's all to play for. He's riding on the back of that Ferrari, just looking for the position where he can overtake him. He's just conserving a little bit of energy. About
I imagine Ron Hart's not using that much battery right now. It just doesn't need to. So yeah, even if Rasmussen maybe gets to P2, he just probably has wasted a bit too much ERS now.
A moment ago had almost an entire battery's worth to use. So he's been very tactical in the way he's tried to stay in this train, because he did pit early after having a little bit of damage. I imagine he didn't even change the front wing if he was able to stay in this fight.
4 seconds, I think it's
to harm him,
pretty much game over for P1 now. It's just a fight for P2. I think Rasmussen can definitely still get P2 though.
Fight here for P2 still within DRS of Jarno Otmir.
But yeah, if Jarno can finish P2 here, then I think he'll definitely take that after the qualifying he had.
The first race of the season. But it is all to play for the 18 points that 2nd place brings, and there's more DRS, there's more pulling out of the slipstream. Jed Norgrove, a little bit too far back, I'd say, to try and make a move. Freddie Rasmussen, interestingly, has sort of his progress has halted in P5. Perhaps his tyres have started to hit the cliff
just save
slightly.
the ERS. I think he knows he's not going to catch Ron Hart. Just go save the ERS for the last 5 laps.
25% golden mark of that extra pace. And I want to go to Hayden. Hayden, what have you seen with only 5 laps to go?
So yeah,
I've been walking around and I've been noticing
he just keeps on track then. I think he's got P2 in the back here.
All in this train at the moment.
Yeah, Rasmussen just needs to be a little bit more aggressive at times. To sometimes go for that dive bomb maybe.
Some clean air and cool down his engine, because that is going to hurt your straight line speed. And obviously straight line speed around here is crucial.
Thank you very much, Hayden. As it gets all very close in this downhill double left-hander, one of the trickiest sections on the track to spot your braking zone and to bleed off the brakes in the right way. We're riding on board with another rookie, Ruben Pedreno, who I imagine will be quite disappointed at this stage of the race, considering made it into Q3, was looking.
I don't think there's been a driver who's won the first round by this kind of distance.
Running in 12th.
So yeah, I reckon it could be 5-ish seconds by the end of the race. Yeah, probably around 5 to 6 seconds maybe.
Freddie Rasmussen has made a lot more progress than Josh Edu has, and they've both been on very similar strategies.
Yeah, but we are coming towards
Rasmussen
the end of
just
this
needs
race,
to creep his way up into P3 as soon as he can.
We've seen it before with F1 sim races. Towards the end of the race, it gets
no,
very
no
hard
one's
when
on the
we're looking
controller
for
here.
moves, and does it seem like there's a move?
No, they're all on wheels.
Again,
there we go, inside.
3 wide into turn 1, and Barry Burman has made a couple of positions.
Yeah, see Barry. Barry, yeah, don't forget about Barry. Oh, he's on the mediums. Oh no, so even Barry, I could get P2 here as well. That's why I was shocked that no one else started on the hard tyre. But Barry doesn't have much ERS, that's why his red light is flashing.
Great result for Ferrari now, 3rd and 5th. How much further can they make?
Well, they're going to be pushing even further. Freddie Rasmussen and Barry Burman were both on that same strategy.
Yeah, I reckon Barry can get P2 now.
Later. So we'll have
he's got the freshest mediums. He's got the freshest tyres out of anyone. So
but it will be very interesting to see how
yeah, that's why I'm just shocked that no one else in the top 5 went on a hard tyre. Because you could see Barry was able to hang on to the soft runners. So yeah, I'm very shocked that no one else did that. But
fresher tyres of the Scarlet Red Ferrari. But it's
yeah, he started in. Did he start P10, P11? I think he started P11, didn't he? So yeah, P11 to P2. That just shows how good the strategy is. So yeah, I'm not sure why the others didn't do that.
Certainly is. Barry Burman coming through the field. Danny Berezne starting to lose positions. 7th at the moment, Alfie Butcher in 8th. But still, these are the moments for Norgrove and Butcher where a few points
Yeah,
is
maybe a
great.
lot of bowling.
You know, don't be too disheartened by the fact you're not running in 3rd
Yeah,
or 2nd. or a net
Ronhar's
race
smashing
lead
this race,
like
but
Norgrove was earlier. Just try and secure
as I
many
said,
points
like
as you
even
can,
me had
because
doubts
they
in the
will
last
add up
game, but
to the end tally at the end of the season.
you can't always say it's complete proof, but
Once again,
I don't imagine there is anything foul play here, so
Tom Manley trying to get past Alfie Butcher.
but people are allowed to improve.
The right rear to the front
See Alfie, I think
what
what we've seen for Alfie Butcher this race is just maybe just that experience. He's definitely got the one-lap pace, but it's very, very different in a race. That's why you see Yarno up in P2, Rasmussen coming through the field.
Tom Manley still trying to make positions up, and 9th position is something that you can be very
But
proud of.
Longe's doing pretty well considering how old those mediums are, and he had damage. I think he had to change a bit of his front wing maybe, so
and also Jed Norgrove running up.
Longe's doing very, very well.
Great job from
But I reckon Barrowman and Rasmussen, they need to start making up positions now.
The cars, the drivers, the tyres getting.
But to be fair, considering the lack of announcements, everything, it's the racing qualifying's been quite good so far. It's just a shame we didn't get an extra race yesterday. We would have been on Silverstone here today, so.
But we've got 3 laps remaining. We've still got to keep pushing on as we riding on board here. This is Barry Burman. He sees
So yeah, Barry needs to save a bit of ERS for the last lap. See engine overheating, so just pulling out the slipstream.
22% energy at the minute as he keeps snaking ever so close to the Red Bull, who is actually trapped in between the 2 Scarlet Red Ferraris there. You can see Nicholas Longate ahead of him. Freddie Rasmussen
5.5 seconds from
maybe to
Ronhard,
cool
that's
down his
insane.
engine, maybe to see if a move is possible there on Nicholas Longate. And Longate moves out to defend just towards the right, and Freddie Rasmussen is not able to get
Rasmussen's just got to take his time here, I think.
First turn there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a defensive move or an offensive move, because Jarno Opmer was very close, and that's a bit more contact as well between Manley and Butcher. But can Manley get through? We've got a fight again between Opmer, Longay and Rasmussen. Opmer
So
just
sin
about
damage is on, so they're going to be very, very careful. Contact here.
On to his Ferrari for as long as he has, because he pitted very early for those tyres, but it's still performing at a great level here, and they are fighting so hard for these final couple.
Look at the gap that Ronhard has.
Freddie Rasmussen, as we know, as we've seen so
I would be surprised if maybe some drivers are questioning that after the race, but to be fair, I think they are fighting quite a bit. Ronhard does have 1 lap fresher tyres, and we saw from the first stint he was rapid as well, so.
He knows that this isn't really an overtaken opportunity, but when he does go for it, I'd imagine he's not just going to go for Longay. He'll go for
Ronhard's probably saved the ERS and now using it, so the pace, look at the gap that is, that's insane.
Yeah, it would be great if he could jump them both. That would be the ideal scenario for Freddie Rasmussen. And we have seen, as you mentioned earlier on, that it is possible in this race. When you're trying to defend against 2 drivers coming out behind you, it can be a little bit difficult. But Freddie Rasmussen, as you can see,
6.4 seconds the gap, that's crazy.
He
If he uses all the ERS on last lap, it could be close to 10 seconds. So I don't know, what's the biggest gap ever an esports race has been won?
There are only a couple of laps remaining in this opening race in 2023. But it seems as though we've got some moves going on a bit further down. Alfie Butcher and Tom Manley going wheel to wheel with one another.
They can't be separated, these two. They're still fighting, and Fassi currently running in 10th, gets a great run. DRS wide open, up the inside of Alfie Butcher, who now drops to 10th if this move is made. On the inside, but Alfie so confident on the brakes, tries to hang it all the way round the outside. He's still there, but just loses that position.
Yeah, Alfie
Fassi
P2 down to P10.
Manley, of course, carrying that penalty still.
P3 down to P10. So
yeah,
just showing that maybe that inexperience a little bit, but
contact. Josh Edu hitting the back of the house.
Yeah, but Rasmussen and Barrowman, they've only got a final lap now.
Corner in this race.
1 more lap after this.
Lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix, and they are trying to make up every position they can.
They are, and as you can see, Freddie Rasmussen again just looking up the inside whether he can make a move stick. I'm not sure if it's possible that he will be able
I need to look up what the biggest win there's ever been in esports.
As a defensive mechanism.
Yeah, let's see how much the gap increases on last lap if he uses the ERS on last lap, maybe.
So far, we're on lap 28, and he's still there despite his older tyres, as we can see. That is Alfie Butcher there.
But Lucas Longay to stay in P3.
He's got Josh Edo behind
so I think everyone's going to be using all of the ERSs last lap now.
Went on the hard to medium alternate strategy to Alfie Butcher, who started on the softs.
All right, here we go.
It's looking like Josh Edo is looking to make a move stick on the hash driver.
Last lap of this F1 Sim Racing World Championship Event 1. We've got more moves into turn 1. It's Fassi versus Manley, and there's a more contact in the background as well. Ido, Pedreno and Chipos all fighting for potentially the final points.
Yeah, if Alfie doesn't get points, that'd be gutting for him.
Ronha is clear out in front, but it is all to play for behind. Otmir still managing to stay ahead of Longe, and he's keeping Rasmussen at bay in P4 at the moment. Oh, they're side by side in the background.
Oh, the gap's
there.
coming down.
It's
So I think
Pedreno,
Ronha's just taking it a
which
bit
could
easier
be,
in
as
this
I
last
say,
lap.
for that
Oh,
final
shit!
point position. Brendan Lee, the two-time champion, in the mix of things as well. Pedreno pushes Ido wide a little bit. They're wheel banging once again. We're heading towards the double left-hander. Can Josh Ido get ahead of Pedreno? It's so close. That's millimetres away from Brendan Lee's front wing. They're all flashing with that red light on the back, which means they have pretty much used all of their energy deployment. But I think we need to.
Yeah, very surprised Rasmussen and Barman couldn't get past Longe or Opme this race. Seeing how much fresher tyres they have as well, it's crazy. Which makes what Ronha's doing even more impressive.
He's been sent many messages over the last year, and this is how he responds. Thomas Ronha wins the first race of the season. He wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. What a result for Thomas Ronha. In second position, Jarno Otmir finishes. Nicholas Longe in third, who just stays ahead of Freddie Rasmussen. Barry Burman in P5.
Oh my God.
Gets Norgrove on the line to finish sixth.
Wow, fair play.
Butcher and Ido.
To be honest, to be fair to him, he shut a lot of people up, including myself.
Oh, that was some incredible race. You know, it started off a little bit slow.
His pace was insane.
And it all
like you saw Rasmussen and Barman, but they had 3 or 4 that fresher tyres. They couldn't even make any inroads on the guys ahead from the race. So Ronha only having a lap fresher, that pace is.
He certainly does.
Just his traction again, it's insane.
To see those kind of performances in F1 sim racing. It's usually down to the last lap.
That's crazy.
We've got another fight for the win. No, he clears off by 6 seconds. When you think of all the preparation that all of these drivers have done, to do it here, a LAN event, the lights, the cameras,
yeah, I want to see his
everybody
interview, what he says in the interview.
What a performance from Thomas Ronha.
Wow,
Absolutely.
that was insane.
You can't fault him. He did it absolutely spectacular.
To be fair, I love that celebration from Ronha.
And the fact that these drivers are so close, because there was a train of,
oh my God.
6,
but
7, 8 drivers behind him.
I would be surprised if there's a few drivers there who think that's not possible, because that was only having that little bit better tyre life, and the guys behind weren't really fighting that hard, to be honest. So it's just
we need to talk about what just went on.
Maybe Longe was slowing things down a bit, but
you've said it several times, and I was there
that
hovering around
is,
like I'm going to jump in and help out my
to
teammates.
pull that kind of gap is crazy.
That was
absolutely crazy.
But
Jarno P2, no, he's still right in it, so I don't think he'll be too displeased with that.
That was the quote of the race for me. It was just had.
But yeah, I want to hear this interview with Ronha first.
Drivers very jubilant, or some really, really disappointed with their performance. And Hayden is somewhere around this. I can actually probably find him. He's somewhere. Yes, I found him. He's over in the Alfa Romeo camp.
Of course I am. I am with the
they
race
fought a
winner,
bit
Thomas.
All right, let's listen to this.
Incredible drive.
I'm lost for words, to be honest. To win by this margin in such a competitive grid is, it still needs to sink in a little bit, but extremely happy.
And we saw the reaction from you. We saw the gesture to the camera. What was that about?
I don't think there's words needed for that. For the people who doubt in me, thank you for making me stronger to, think about who I actually am. And that's what I did today to, be a dominated driver and win the race.
And what a way to do it. We've seen race wins in F1 sim racing where it's by a few thousandths, few hundredths, few tenths of a second. 6 seconds, you beat the rest of the field. What a gauntlet to put down.
Like I said, it's still, I'm still lost of words. And, to win by this margin, the only thing I can say is it's just unbelievable.
Tom, what a result that was. Back to you.
It was incredible, and you may have heard a giggle, and that was me just giggling at the excitement. Thomas Ronha.
I think with the experience he had last year, now,
like, oh, it got spicy.
I think last year you obviously had the pace, or clearly had the pace, but being a rookie in that season, but now having that experience, but this is his first real proper land.
A young driver,
fair play, man. But I think Jarno would be pretty happy with that as well. Rasmussen,
maybe not quite the
but
racecraft amongst other.
I think Alfie maybe showed a little bit of inexperience, but
yeah,
overall wasn't a hugely
hang on a minute, I'll have a word
crazy race or anything like that. But
after a performance like that. What does
yeah,
it mean when
I
you
feel
say
like
he wins by this
despite
margin?
the
Why is that
disappointment,
so
lack of announcements and stuff, I think the
You
qualifying
know what,
race
honestly,
wasn't
F1
really too
Esports,
bad.
it's
But I don't think there's going to be any
unheard of
racing
to win
tomorrow
by such a
because the
margin.
drivers
You
go
know, as you
home.
can
So
see, the gaps were so
they're probably going to
close,
have to fit
everyone
Silverstone
within
in at
DRS
a
range of each other towards the end of the race. So
another
for
event.
somebody to
But
kind of go out and
hopefully they
make
come
that
out with some
grand
kind of
margin,
statement to
we don't
explain
usually see it. You know, they're
why
all
there was a
usually
delay
within
or what's
DRS
going on.
range,
But I
especially
just really
towards the end
hope
of the
that
race. We can
everything's
get
kind of
quite a
been
lot of last lap battles.
sorted
That's
out now.
not what we saw here, not at the front
But
of the grid anyway.
yeah.
And Jarno tried his best.
Just
He
glad
got
we finally got some
P10
racing
to
in the
get
end,
that
I think,
P2.
for the main thing.
Fantastic
So
drive from him.
I think I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you
that
enjoyed that. I will be
performance today.
doing
And
all
there's
the
commiserations
watch-alongs
which
for
we'll get
future
to
events
in
when
a
they
moment
are
for
announced,
obviously our
hopefully. We don't
reigning
have
champion.
to
It didn't
second-guess
go
when they
the
are.
way
We
he
can
would have
actually
wanted.
plan for
Who
them in
stood out for
future.
you
But
other than Thomas Warner?
yeah, GG to
I
Ronhard,
think the
man.
rookies
He
held their own. Of course,
didn't
they
just
lost
win,
a
he
little
just
bit of time,
absolutely dominated that, which
positions such as
I think,
British,
again, is
for
probably going to
example,
raise
Bahrain as
questions
well,
from
but they
drivers
didn't
and other
lose their
people.
heads,
But
which is the most important
for
thing.
me,
So
I
they're
think
getting
that proves that he is
experience,
legit. Being on the land,
on the big
the
stage.
scrutiny he
I'd
had
say
around
Barry
him,
Burmans,
I think
great
it's
result for him, fighting
yeah.
back through the field.
I think it
and
kind of tells you all the
scoring some big
answers you want to be.
points, for the
So
Ferrari team.
yeah, GG to him, man. Hopefully you all enjoyed it, but hopefully we get a bit of explanation from F1 EA because I feel the fans definitely still deserve that. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of the weekend. Enjoy the Grand Prix tomorrow, and I will catch you soon.
People are saying, what's happened? Where's Lucas Blakey?
Peace.
He's pitting, and then he gets to lap 12. I mean, I'm waiting for that move that Lucas made in lap 14.